Hey guys, it is Gaz from Full Game the Apocalypse here, and today we're going to be looking at a new game. This is The Swindle. The Swindle is classified as a steampunk cybercrime caper, which, in more layman's terms, it's a steampunk-inspired mixed with a bit of cyberpunk in there. Stealth action RPG is probably the best way to explain it. This was made by Sive Five Games, and shout out to Sive Five Games for being so nice and letting us actually have a look at this game and do an editorial on it. Trust me, myself and the others really appreciate this. So thanks, Dan, at that on Twitter, who is the lead developer. And I'm really happy to get a hold of something like this because this is a new game, hasn't been out for very long, and I'm able to actually play it myself and give my impressions. So hopefully that the developer can look back on it and say, right, okay, if things need to be changed, they can change. They can take visual footage or whatever I've said into account and try and fix it. Because at least if I was a developer, I'd want to be doing the same thing. So what we're going to have to do is first look off at the options menu at the start, just because it's always nice to look at those kinds of things. For some reason my resolution was off whack. So you've got resolution, full screen. Pretty standard for a side-scroller that doesn't really use much graphics power, but it still looks nice. That's the good thing about this art style. I just put everything on max, put VSync on, making sure that it's running consistently at 60 FPS, even though, to be honest, it doesn't really matter with a game like this because it is a side-scroller. It doesn't really need to be ridiculously fast. So the 60 FPS police can really fuck off on this one. So yeah, basic. You can change the background and the saturation, the blur and saturation of the background. Mainly if it feels like it's getting in the way, and it's it's like it's sitting there and you don't really want to look at it. You can turn those off, so it just basically ignores anything in the background and only focuses on the foreground where everything's happening. Right. Audio settings, pretty simple. Global, which includes sound effects, which I think possibly sound effects could be turned down a bit, or it can have its own bar to turn it down a bit, because sometimes I've had to mute the global volume just to stop the song playing in the airship, which I feel it should be music, but it's not. It's on the sound effects for some reason. And that's just a bit of a gripe I've had, especially because I've tried to record this once now. So I've had to do it again. Game settings, showing just tutorials. Keyboard and gamepad, I'm using a gamepad personally. If you feel that gamepad is better, I would say it might be better for the game like this. Because it's also on a console, so you may as well play with what you had on the console, on the PC. I know it should encourage keyboard controls, but the keyboard controls, if people like this kind of thing, then fair enough. It's just not one of my personal tastes. It is both hands on the keyboard, no mouse. So your hands are spread out across the keyboard on some of the keys. So you're just sitting there with both hands on the keyboard, just moving about and doing all the abilities at the same time. Yeah, I would say maybe it's quicker, but personally I'm using a gamepad just for convenience sake. And that's pretty much it on the main menu side. So let's actually get into the game. This is my character. I think her name is Jenny Toolbox, because every time you die you get a new character, or randomly generated with a random name. And this is the character I've got. I think she's an old lady with a nice scarf. So I don't know why she's in a crime or why she's heisting and stealing money, but fuck it. I don't care. So this is your airship. This is your starting base. This is where you'll know you're safe. Because the story of this game is that you are a master criminal, and the Scotland Yard in Victorian steampunk cyberpunk London have made a new AI which is going to actually sniff out and find all the criminals and bring them to justice. So of course, as you're a criminal, that's bad for you. However, it's going to take 100 days for them to actually to be up and running. So that means you have 100 days to get enough resources, get enough equipment, go in and steal it yourself so that you can carry on stealing shit. Which I think is a really nice concept. It's a very simple concept, but it has the time restraint. So what we're going to have a look at is the only thing you can really do is mess with your abilities and just kind of potter about, really. And test them out, I think. But we're going to have a look at the abilities. So because it's an action RPG kind of situation, you will get things from heists, and when you get them from heist, you can put them into abilities. There are a few different categories. Agility is just moving about, jumping, being able to jump off of walls, sneaking, anything like that. Anything that's movement based. So you've got double jumps, wall jumping, increasing your movement speed, being able to... you make less noise when you slow walk, but you can also go faster, and falling. This is one thing I really need to fucking get, because I've lost about 7 guys from... Well, actually no. 4 guys out of 7 deaths from falling damage. Just because I've dropped a bit too far and I haven't been able to grab on the wall. Abilities here, these are all your main abilities, so this includes hacking. This is a necessary part of the game. If you do not have hacking, you're an idiot. Hacking is... Because it's a cyberpunk thrown into steampunk, there are computers everywhere, and everything is run by computers. So you need to have the ability to hack a computer in order to get the good payouts and also make your life easier. For example, first one gets you to hack computers. Computers are your main source of income during a heist, so if you hack a computer, you usually get a pretty good payout and you get more money when you return. Then you've got hacking level 2, which is locked doors. If there's a door that's locked, god damn it, this is what I mean about the song coming on, I may as well turn it off. When the song... Yeah, it's throwing me off now. When you go into the higher level ones, there are more chances of locked doors. If you go up against a locked door, you can't open it, you have to hack the locked door, because it's run by a computer, to open it. Makes sense. However, I went into it not knowing that this was a thing, and got stuck on the first try of a new level, because I didn't have the lockpicking skill. So I had to go back, get some more money, then go back again and try and do it, which is what I've done here. Level 3 is security stations, which allow you to turn off the main source of, I think it's cameras and autonomous things, not the normal enemies. Any active security measures. Cameras, drones, which are really fucking annoying, and anything else. Hack skill allows you to reactivate down drones and force them to target nearby enemies. Again, a very late end game kind of skill. However, it does make it so that if you have a gun drone or security cameras or anything, they can fight back and make your job easier. So you've got your hack speed, makes it quicker. You get more money from hacking. Melee strength, because there are some enemies that require 2 to 3 hits, so it makes it easier on you. Being able to knock down doors and windows, which I'm not going to really use. I don't mind tapping them. Bionic eyes. Because it's a side-scroller, you can of course see up above you and below you. However, it's a fixed camera point until you get these, which allows you to look up and look down and see what's going on. Teleporter, again, very late game kind of skill, allows you to go through walls and doors. Tools, you have a various array of tools, which you can get bombs to start off with. These are the cheapest ones to get. Then you can get smoke screens, which gives you cover, makes you invisible for a few seconds while you run. Bug counts allow you to siphon money from the computers, so you can leave it on a computer and then fuck off, do other things, and then hopefully you should have all the money by the end of the thing. So you're not carrying all the money on you, and if you die, you don't lose that much. Which I guess, it would make me feel better, but I'd still be pissed off. Remote detonate. Any mines or generators in range can be detonated from a distance. This would be really fucking handy, because it is a bitch, and I died twice now from bombs going off near me. Friendly bombs, mind you, that I've hacked, and be like, oh, okay, I can hack the bomb, I should be fine now, and then it goes off while I'm next to it and kills me. It's not fun. Being able to hack the robots, and also sending off an EMP just to make your life easier. You have goggles, which allow you to give you like specific apps, which is, I like it, they're called apps, which is really cool. It's just like a nice poke at smartphones, but they should help you help you. Again, it's a lot of the upgrades are to make your life easier, not to make the game easier, but just to make it easier on yourself, so you know what you're doing, you can calculate and figure out what to do next. Main poke that I saw was like morning may offer in-app purchases on the security station locator app, and level scanners, which are cool. The MISC is mainly focusing on stuff your airship and just kind of keeping your time going, but it also allows you to get the new heists. So at the start, you start off with security clearance 0, and you go into the shittiest part of London, getting the smallest amount of cash, but that's where you start. You start off there, and then you get better. So I've got security clearance 1, which allows me to go to the warehouse district, which increases the difficulty, but I get a bigger payout. So if I can succeed, I get bigger payouts and then bring that back, which is great. And then you go up, and then once you get to the police district, which is the last bit, you can actually do the heist for the Devil's Basilisk. But the thing is, because you only have 100 days, that's 100 heists. You might lose a couple days, or you might not get enough money during one heist, and then you have to go back and do it again. You're wasting time. You've got to be able to manage that time. But there is something that does make it easier. The hack station allows you to actually have a few more days to prepare yourself before going on to the Devil's Basilisk. Because the thing is, you'll probably end up dying on that heist. So if you need those extra days to make sure that you're ready and know what to expect, then fair enough. That's a necessary upgrade for you. Police interference allows you, basically, when you get seen, they ring the alarm bell. Police don't turn up immediately. They usually take, I think it's about a minute that I've counted, kind of. But it's about a minute, and each one of these makes it longer, so you've got more time. So if you get seen, you have enough time to get back to your pod, maybe do a couple hacks before the police turn up and then fuck off. Pod Steam Surge, if there is a group of enemies around you, it makes it invisible while you get into your pod to escape, and Scrapyard gives you money and extra XP for taking out bots. That's basically it on the... let's turn the audio back on. That's basically on the ability side. Again, it's a very action RPG kind of thing. There's different tiers. Each one is a certain amount of money which you get from the heist, so you're always going out, getting new stuff, coming back, improving yourself to get more money. That's the endless cycle here. But the thing is, it's not a bad cycle. It is a fun cycle. And because the thing is, there's a time limit as well. So it's a cycle, but you're like, oh no, I need to go on to the new heist now, or I'm not going to be able to get to the end quick enough, and this, that, and the other. It really pushes the... You are under a time limit. Plan it carefully and sort yourself out before you have to actually do shit. So let's go for a heist. And one thing I really want to credit with this game is the writing is fantastic. They've made a whole lore about this game because of how different it is. So the slums is where you start, security level 0, and it's got this kind of... It's got a really nice description. It gives... Because it's not... Of course, it's not real London. It's based on real London, obviously. But they've got a couple of extra bits onto it. So the slums, basically, again, it's like a slums that you'll see in anything. It's a nice little, gives you a nice little bit of history. Warehouse district, lined along the banks of the Thames, is a vast array of colossal warehouses, each docked to the river to easily import and export goods around the world. London's fantastical industrial growth means that practically anything from conchs to hack chips is manufactured and shipped from here. Building owners, increasingly wary of the threat posed by London's underground tea leaf circuit, have invested in next-gen technology to secure their premises. Tea leaf circuit, I have a feeling that's what the actual thieves are called. That's like their group name. Then you've got it gets specifically harder every time you go down, more payouts. But what we're going to do, we're going to just go to the warehouse district, just do one of those, and go from there. 84 days remaining, and it's always reminding you of this. So, Gen Toolkit, I've only done one successful heist, but that's because there's a very recent character. Okay, so this is actually a pretty convenient room. This contains about the first few kind of things you'll start to encounter in the game. First off, the actual police bot that looks like he's got a big smile on his face is the first thing you'll encounter. There'll be lots of them, very short line of sight, which as you can see is from those light blocks. That's the line of sight. If you're caught in that, then you're fucked, because they can see you, obviously, and they trigger the alarm. Then you get camera drones, which make it harder, bigger, bigger with longer line of sight robots, drones with turrets, landmines, the list goes on. It always gets harder, and the thing is, if you can't catch up to it, you just got to try and play up to your new skills, because it won't say, oh, I'm changing it now. It's changing, and you've got to be prepared. Let's go down. Oh shit. There we go. Okay. So I think it was the first time I actually saw the other guy's longer line of sight. I think I lost 2 guys because I couldn't really anticipate what was going on. I was like, hang on, where did these guys come from? I didn't get no upgrade or anything. The game is already in motion. I think it's after a certain amount of days. So if you don't keep up with the amount of days, then it's going to be a lot harder for you. So let's do a hack. Hack is just a little mini game, and also the thing is with the mini game is that it's not a hard mini game, and it doesn't punish you for not doing something correctly. So if you miss out and you're like, oh no, I didn't hit the right when it told me to, and then you're like, oh no, it's not a problem. You just have to... Yeah, it's not a problem if that happens. You're not going to get punished for it. You just keep it and keep going until you get it right. And see, this is one thing I was talking about it when I tried to record this before, but now I actually have physical evidence. Because this is a kind of a stealth action RPG kind of thing, similar to Rogue Legacy and Spelunky and the sort, it's a procedurally generated game. The problem is, the procedural generation engine doesn't like to play very nice sometimes. And then shit like this happens. That is a security station down there, which, if I could hack it, I would be able to turn off some of the cameras, which would be fantastic. However, I can't turn off the cameras. I can't even get down there because a block is in the way. I could use a bomb, but that will make it more obvious, which is, I think, the only way around it, I think. Oh, smash the car. See, you got a trip mine there. Oh, fuck! Okay, the mines, it punishes you for getting it wrong. Let's do another one. So Jenny Toolkit is now dead. However, not a bad thing, because the amount of crap that you... if you had lots of stuff before, with, say, you had lots of abilities, you don't lose all your abilities. Smack it. You don't lose all your abilities when you die, obviously. You just keep getting a new character and keep going. So the thing is, but every time you die, you lose a day, which is a very big punishment, I think, sometimes. So if you lose a day and you really needed to not die then, it's mainly, the problem is it's down to the player. Right. Oh god, it's a security camera as well. Oh my god, I don't think I can do this one. Shit. I don't think there's any way I can do this. Might have to bug out. See, that's the good thing as well, is that even if you bug out, you're not necessarily losing everything. You can bug out at any time, because, again, I haven't really got any money, but I'm going to have to bug out just to try and see if I can get a different level that might be a bit... It's a bit more reachable for me, because, again, I don't have the hacking that gives me the security stations yet. So, just do another heist. Let's try this a third time. Let's get up here. Fucking sword. Oh! Again, shit like that happens. It is brutal. It's like Dark Souls. The thing is, every time you die, you're like, okay, well, I died for this reason. Now I know what to try and avoid and how to try and get around it. And then because you get a new character, you know, it feels a bit more fresh. However, sometimes it's just a little frustrating during this video that this has had to happen. Okay, try and wait for him to turn around. Alright. Okay, fuck out. You can always see your thing in the background, and because it's London, you can see iconic sites like the London Eye is here for some reason, and the Big Ben is there is also there. It's just like nice nods, and damn, only 47%. But you know, things like this is just kind of what happens when you try and record as well. It's just like things happen if you try to do it straight. You don't have a script, you don't have pre-footage. It's annoying. It's just a bit off the cuff sometimes, but overall. Let's go back to the airship. May as well. I've got some money. I showed off that you can hack, you can get money. I got seen, the bell was ringing off, and there was enough time for me to get away. So again, it's not a punishing game, but the thing is, it will let you know what you did wrong, because you're still sitting there staring at what you did wrong, and being like, oh god, I'm such an idiot. That's the good thing about a game like this, similar to Dark Souls, Rogue Legacy, similar to Spelunky. Every time you fail, you learn a bit more, and then you carry on again. And you just keep going and going and going, and just trying to see how far you can get before you make a mistake, learn from it, and carry on again. And you're always learning things, you're always getting new stuff. It's a dynamic system like that. And again, it's not punishing you for anything. It is more encouraging you to die, because then you're like, okay, well, I did something wrong. Okay, right, well, now I know about this, that, and the other. Now I know what to prepare, what to try and upgrade. Maybe I have to go back and do some more missions and try and get some more cash, and then try again. That's the beauty of a game like this. It's more visceral, I would say. Because of the fact it's, again, you're like, I gotta keep doing this, gotta keep doing that. And especially if you're, say, if you were someone who played a lot of Spelunky, Rogue Legacy, any kind of roguelites, then you'll probably be right at home with this game. If you're also a stealth fan, I'd also say you're right at home with this game. Fuck off with this global volume. It fits in so many niches. If you're a steampunk fan, if you're a cyberpunk fan, if you really... kind of like Shadowrun. There's a kind of Shadowrun-y kind of aspect in there, which I really like, and it will fit so many niches. It's a well-designed game. The controls are spot on, as it has to be with a platformer. You need to make sure that if you jumping instantly. Your hitboxes have to be fantastic. You have to be right spot on. Especially because, as a developer, I know how hard it is sometimes for getting things to work. And, again, the only gripe I have about this game is the procedural generation engine doesn't like to play nice. But the problem is, no procedural generation game engine likes to play nice. Minecraft, which is credited for having a fantastic procedural generation, sometimes has a tree in a house in a cave underground in the nether for some reason. You know, things like that happen, glitches happen. It's hard to fix it, but what you can do is at least do as much as you can to prevent something like that. Like lots of if statements, or a nice bit of code that makes it so that if they're like put doors near security stations, and if there's a door, you have to make sure there's like maybe a certain amount of blocks around it, or a certain amount of area around it, so that you can actually get into it. But even then, sometimes it won't play nice. It's just one of the things that just happens, you know. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that can be tweaked, and some things that you can try and fix. And if you fix it, fantastic. If you don't, you're not losing anything. So overall, I would say this game is, if you are a fan of platformers, stealth games, action RPGs, similar, again, like roguelikes, you will be right at home with this game. It is spot on, art style is fantastic, really nice writing, really nice concept. All the systems in place usually work and are, again, spot on. And overall, again, this is my personal opinion. Whether this is what you want or this is not what you want, then fair enough. Let me know in the comments below, obviously. But again, it is just a game that works. It just works, you know? It just clicks in people's heads. And I'm definitely going to be streaming this a lot more, because there's a lot of streaming material here, which I think is one of the other reasons this game is promoted to be a game that people can stream. Hence why there's like Twitch integration into some roguelikes to try and get people to stream it. Which is, I'm going to be doing it with this one. If you want to know anything else about this game, check out Sive5Games.com. Link will be in the description as always. This game is on Steam. It is £11.99 on Steam. It is also on the PSN store, because this came out on PlayStation 2. No, the PlayStation 4 too. You can check it out on there. It is currently on sale. If you're also a PSN Plus member, then you get an extra discount, which is fantastic. I think you only get it for like £9. It is a steal. Get it? If you can get it at that price. And I would definitely recommend this game. So this has been The Swindle. I have been Gaz from 4 Games The Apocalypse, and I'll see you all next time.